Half a day, I'm Nestor Leconte with the Pacific Daily News, and here are today's top stories from the PDN Newsroom. On any given workday, as many as 1 in 5 of the 35 sanitation workers and drivers at the Guam Solid Waste Authority are not showing up for their jobs. The increase in no-shows was a concern raised at this month's GSWA board meeting, with a shortage of truck drivers already delaying trash and recyclable collections through May. GSWA General Manager 𝐏𝐃𝐍 said the no-show rate for both drivers and sanitation workers was relatively high at around 12% on any given workday last year. But through this May, for whatever reason, he said, is increased to an average of between 15 and 20% of workers, or 5 to 7 people not showing up. 𝐏𝐶 said 3 to 5 new full-time employees will be brought on very soon to offset the regular absences. But until staffing problems are fixed, the Harmon Transfer Station and Household Hazardous Waste Facility will continue to be closed every Monday so that 3 truck drivers can be pulled for trash duty. In other news, the Guam Economic Development Authority has reached out to local tourism industry group Guam Travel and Tourism Association for ideas to help jumpstart flagging Japanese tourist arrivals. And GTTA said it would help raise millions of dollars as seed money for a private and public partnership. Guam now ranks at the very bottom of a recent Japan Travel Bureau Research Department report on the market share of 50 international destinations favored by Japanese tourists, according to GTTA officials. Also, Guam's overall market share of the Japanese outbound market is at 1.4%, compared to an average 5.1% share for over a decade pre-pandemic. GTTA officials said since the COVID-19 pandemic, Japanese arrivals to Guam are down 59%. As a result of the severe downturn, Jay Merrill of GTTA said 30% of Guam's tourism industry businesses have shuttered. David Tidinko, also a GTTA member and Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Valley of the Lati, said the $20 million Local Employers Assistance Program, or LEAP, from GIDA helped keep the doors open, he says, but it's time for us to step up. And finally, the Guam Environmental Protection Agency is considering purchasing a tire shredder to address tens of thousands of tires that have been piling up as a result of illegal dumping and Typhoon Mawar. The Dededo transfer station has reportedly accumulated between 30,000 and 50,000 tires as a result of illegal dumping as of January 2023. Guam EPA intends to build its new headquarters at the site. But after being used as a trash staging area for Mawar debris starting last May, the old transfer station property has accumulated more tires, according to this month's Guam EPA board meeting. Likewise, the old 𝐶𝐶 Carnival Grounds and 𝐸𝐵 Point both have smaller tire piles that were built up during Mawar. Hundreds of family and friends of the fallen, along with the island's civilian and military leadership, turned up Monday for a Memorial Day commemoration ceremony at the Guam Veterans Cemetery in Pidi. Keynote speaker Captain Virginia Damon of the Navy Nurse Corps said, "The salutation, Happy Memorial Day, is said with the best of intentions. But for me and many of you, Memorial Day is not a happy day or just merely a day off work. It is a day flooded with memories, sadness, but is also full of pride as we honor those who have chosen to serve, those who have given the ultimate sacrifice." As Damon spoke, thousands of miniature American and Guam flags were planted at gravesites across the Veterans Cemetery and at the nearby Pacific Memorial Park. The big flags at the cemetery were flown at half-mast, and wreaths were presented to honor service members who fought in every major U.S. conflict going back to World War I. In other news, the Guam Election Commission's Executive Director Maria Pangilinan told commissioners that forgery may have been involved in 4 separate files of nominating petitions that primary election candidates submitted, and those were forwarded to the Attorney General's office for disposition. Also at the meeting Friday, the GEC approved the early voting schedule for this year's primary election. Early voting will be held from July 15 to July 29 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays through Saturdays for a total of 13 days. Monday, July 22nd is the observed Liberation Day holiday, but GEC decided that early voting will still be available on that date. And finally, the Northern Region Community Health Center in Dededo and the Southern Region Community Health Center in Inalåhan will be closed from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday, May 31, due to mandatory staff development, the Department of Public Health and Social Services said. Both centers will resume regular operational hours at 8 a.m. on Saturday, June 1st. For more of these stories, go to GuamPDN.com and follow us on social media.